Hello all, thank you for joining me online and welcome to our first meeting in Hume 195. My name is Dr. Farrar, as in Ferrari, but without the E on the end, so just Dr. Farrar. This video will introduce the content, policies, and expectations of this course. Before watching the video, you might consider opening the course syllabus, the I Am a Cyborg assignment sheet, and the research and presentation assignment sheet in another window to follow along. These are all found on our BBLearn website, so if you go to our course website, which looks like this, you can find the syllabus at the very top. The I Am a Cyborg assignment sheet will be inside the I Am a Cyborg folder, as we might expect, and the research and presentation assignment sheet will be likewise in the research and presentation folder. So you can just open those up now so that we can follow along together. And we'll start with our syllabus. As with, I suspect, most of your classes, the syllabus contains default policies for this course. My contact information is in the upper left-hand corner. The best way to contact me is via email and office hours. If you need to make an appointment, please let me know in advance as I carpool and need to be able to schedule around that. The focus of this course is cyber stories. As a Humanities in Action AHI, Aesthetic and Humanistic Inquiry Distribution block course that focuses on experiential learning and critical thinking, we will not only examine the theories and ideas shaped by cyber stories, but create cyber stories ourselves. In other words, throughout the semester, rather than write papers, each of you will be tasked with building your own personal website on weebly.com. Your personal site will consist of 5 short pages. Here they are. Which are described in your syllabus on pages 4 to 5, which is on the screen now, and a more extensive research web project, which is also on page 5 of your syllabus. This is a sample personal site. You can see how by the end of the semester you will have several short pages built into your personal site, as well as a research page. This one has 3 sample research pages, but they are just samples on your own. You can have just one research page, or you can have a research page supplemented by several linked pages. It's up to you. The ultimate goal of creating your own personal site for this class is to compose and contribute complementary research and experiences to our course website. This is our course website. By the end of the course, each of the 3 main content pages on our course site, that is the history, theory, and our cyber stories, which you see on the bottom here, will be populated with your and your classmates' research projects and short pages. The columns on the right-hand side of each page will link to the short pages, while the buttons at the bottom of each page will link to successful research projects. The Our Cyber Stories page is a little different in that it will provide links to the I Am a Cyborg short pages, as well as the original hypertext short pages, which will go here, and the Cyberculture of Flagstaff research pages, which will go here. We will talk more about these research projects in person when we meet on Monday, January 25th. Back to the syllabus then. Let's go to the second page. You'll see that the format of this class is largely discussion-based. This means that I expect you to come to class having read materials and prepared to discuss, but it also means that the focus of the class is on critical thinking and the process of analysis. Our class is filled with people from many disciplines and backgrounds, and for some, discussion-based classes are an unfamiliar format, so I want to be clear here. In discussion, you can expect that there won't always be a single right answer. There are often multiple answers, and some of them may even be contradictory. So it is true that in some ways a goal of discussion is to exercise your ability to analyze the evidence given to you and effectively argue your point, but I want us to keep in mind that discussion is also about exercising recognition of multiple perspectives on a single issue. I stress this at the same time that in the end, if you ever feel like you need clarification on a subject, I encourage you to raise your hand in class or see me after class so we can recapitulate and make sure the ideas we've covered do make sense. For this class, you will need 2 books. One is a textbook by David Bell titled An Introduction to Cybercultures, while the other is a novel written by Ernest Cline entitled Ready Player One. You will not need the novel by Cline until the last weeks of the semester, but you will need Bell's textbook immediately. For this class, you will also need to be able to access BBLearn. If you are watching this video, you've probably already seen our homepage. Our homepage is where all our content folders for this assignment will be. So let's go back to our BBLearn page. The Read and View folder is where you can find all the articles, short stories, films, and so forth that have been assigned for homework, excluding, of course, Bell's textbook and Cline's novel. So for Monday, if you turn to page 8 of your syllabus, you will see that I have assigned a portion of Bell's Chapter 2 and an essay by Donna Haraway called Cyborg cyborg manifesto. You should have a hard copy of Bell's book, as it is one of the required texts for the class, and you can find Haraway's essay in our Read and View folder. The other folders on our BB Learn page contain information for each of the website assignments, as we've already seen. On pages 3 through 5 of our syllabus, you'll find details for all of our course assignments and how their percentages break down. I'll leave that to you to read more thoroughly on your own and cover the highlights for now. So we'll start with attendance. For attendance, as I've mentioned before, I expect daily participation. If you accumulate 7 unexcused absences, then you will get a letter grade deducted from your overall semester grade. Daily grades are all of the minor assignments in the class, including quizzes, in-class activities, peer reviews, and so forth. We will have about 10 to 25 of these in the semester, depending on class progress. So in the end, each of these will be worth about 1 to 3 points, depending on how many daily grades we accumulate. The major assignments for this course will revolve around our personal and course website production. So let's switch gears here and turn to our assignment sheet for the I Am a Cyborg personal site. This site will be the first of 5 short content pages you produce throughout the semester. You can see short descriptions of each of the upcoming short content pages as well as their deadlines on our syllabus. The descriptions are on pages 4 through 5. Deadlines are in the itinerary on pages 8 through 10. For this personal site, your task is to create a personal site on Weebly.com, post a biography, and post an analysis explaining how you are a cyborg. Here is a sample I Am a Cyborg site. Notice that there are certain components of your site that will be common to everyone else's site. Everyone will have a headline that reads, My Cyber Story by insert your name. Everyone will set their URL so that they reflect your chosen online names. Everyone's I Am a Cyborg page will contain 2 hyperlinks that help contextualize your content, and 1 black button at the bottom that links back to the course website's Our Cyber Stories page. And everyone's I Am a Cyborg page will introduce the writer's name, where you're from, what you study or major in, 1 miscellaneous fact about yourself, and your analysis for how you are a cyborg. The difference between everyone's pages will be in how you choose to answer the prompt. Since your personal site and our course website will be visible to the public at large, make sure that you are conscious about how you are presenting yourself. Being professional is a given, but if you don't feel comfortable revealing your whole or real identity, by all means don't. For these assignments, you can use an alias. It needs to be a professional one that is appropriate for public view, and you must use it consistently throughout the course for your Weebly site, but otherwise using an alias is entirely up to you. The same goes for answering each of the biographical questions for this assignment. As I've said, for the I Am a Cyborg page, you'll need to tell us where you are from, what you study, and 1 miscellaneous fact about yourself. But if you don't feel comfortable revealing specifics, then don't. You do, however, need to answer the questions in some way that helps us to gain a sense of your online profile. So, for instance, you are not allowed to make things up that are obviously false. For instance, you cannot claim to have come from Mars, but you can answer questions indirectly. For instance, you can talk about how you wish you were from Mars, that you sometimes feel like you are from Mars, or that you suspect life on Earth originally came from Mars, and therefore you are technically in a way from Mars. Each of these would be acceptable responses to the question, where are you from? Finally, some of you may be more than happy to provide specific and direct information in your biographies, especially if you are planning on including this or attaching this to a professional portfolio. However, whatever you post, do not post private personal information like your birth date, social security number, or phone number. The complete I Am a Cyborg page, that is one that presents your biographical profile and your cyborg analysis, will be due by February 3rd by 11:59 p.m. via the I Am a Cyborg discussion forum, which is inside your I Am a Cyborg folder. For this assignment, as it is our first, and I want to make sure everyone is able to create a Weebly site, and I'd like us to start getting to hear from each other, I will require a half draft due on January 27th, 11:59 p.m. For your half draft, your cyborg page should have a completed biographical section. So to reiterate, on January 27th, submit a half draft with your bio to the half draft discussion forum. On February 3rd, submit the completed cyborg page that includes your bio and your analysis of how you are a cyborg, again, to the cyborg discussion forum. So these are 2 different discussion forums. To submit your sites, you will post the URLs to your site in the corresponding thread. So for instance, for your cyborg page, when you have finished everything, you're going to go to this thread so that everyone's going to post to the same thread, and you're just simply going to post your URL by clicking on the reply button beneath my post. Onto your research page and oral presentation. The oral presentation, in short, will be a 6-minute presentation over the topic of your research page and include a 1-page reflection paper describing the challenges and successes you had with the project. I'll let you review the details for the oral presentation on your own. The research page will be another add-on to your personal Weebly site. The purpose of the project will be for you to research and analyze a technology, text, identity, or community that provides insight to how cyberculture is conveyed or made. The first step to selecting your specific research topic will be to sign up for a theme. As you can see, the day you sign up for will help narrow your research topic. You will have to select a specific subject that falls within the parameters of the theme for which you have signed up. The topic you've chosen will also determine your deadlines. So if you choose to sign up for Group 1, you will give your oral presentation in class on February 10th, as well as submit your reflection paper and research page by 11:59 p.m. on that same day. To sign up for a theme, you will have to go to the Research and Presentation folder, and then the Research and Presentation sign-up forum. Select the thread that represents the theme you want to present on, then post your name, your course section number, and your proposed research topic within that thread. All three of these pieces of information are crucial. Our BBLearn site and this forum is for the combined Hume 195 Section 1 and Hume 195 Section 2 classes. So both classes will be in the forum because both classes will be contributing to the course website. Therefore, it is imperative that you see what students in the other class are doing so that we don't duplicate topics. However, as you sign up, you will need to keep track of how many people from your section have already signed up, since only a certain number of you are allowed per thread. For Section 1, 9 of you can sign up for a thread. For Section 2, 6 of you can sign up for a thread. As you sign up, you will also need to post your proposed research topic. So, for instance, if you have chosen to join Group 1 Post 1700 Information Technologies, you can simply post the word trains to let others know that you will be talking about trains and no one else should cover the same subject in the same thread. Of course, your actual research project will have something more specific to say than just trains. For instance, you might look at how short stories in late 19th century Britain and America fixated upon trains as things that were alive and monstrous that represented capitalism and death, since many people died in train wrecks and accidents. But again, for the purpose of this thread, you can simply say trains, and this will be good enough to claim the topic for your own. You must sign up for this research project by January 27th. 11:59 p.m., the same deadline as the half draft for your I Am a Cyborg page. Please be sure to read over the research and presentation assignment sheet in full, as it has further details on it about word count, hyperlink requirements, and so forth. So let's return to our syllabus. We were just at the part where we were going to talk about the midterm and final exam for this class on page 5. These will be in-class exams and aren't anything that I would call taxing. The midterm is typically around 20 multiple choice questions with a short essay. The final may be up to 30 multiple choice questions with 2 short essays. The purpose is to ensure that in the process of creating the sites, we are still retaining the cultural awareness and theory that goes behind them. There are a few more policies on the syllabus that we can cover. For the late work makeups and redos, I treat them on a case-by-case basis. If you have an emergency, let me know as soon as possible so that we can make alternative assignments for you. Otherwise, the default policy for missed daily grade assignments and attendance is that there's no making them up. And for missed major assignments like the presentation short web pages, research page, or exams, there is a one-time 25-point deduction and you must make up the assignment within the week. I allow redos for any of the short web pages and research page that were originally turned in on time. This benefits you and me. I want to have a polished course website by the end of the semester, and you can redo a web assignment for up to 100 points. We've already covered attendance, so let's go to page 7. For my policy on electronic devices, you can use a laptop, e-reader, tablet, your phone, etc. in class as long as it has to do with what we're talking about in class that day. For instance, I will always expect you to have a copy of the reading for the day. We cannot have a discussion about the text if you cannot reference specifics from it. And while I don't expect you to always print out copies of our articles, short stories, etc. because of cost, I do expect you to bring an e-copy if you don't bring a hard copy. So let me reiterate this. You must bring copies of all reading assignments to class. This enriches our ability to discuss the text, and for this reason, you are allowed to bring whatever electronic device you need to class to access our readings and assignments for the day. To contact me, email is the best way. When you email me, be sure to include your name and your course and section number. When you email me, I may be able to put your name with your face, but I won't always be able to remember which class you're in, which is often essential in answering your questions. So please be sure to include this information when you email. Also be professional and courteous, and I will reciprocate the manners. Finally, avoid plagiarism. This should go without saying, but there is always at least one person in every class that plagiarizes. If you are unsure what plagiarism is, please see me. If you are having troubles with an assignment, please see me. I will be much more receptive to your needs when you are honest. So let's turn to page 8 for our itinerary. On this itinerary, note that the readings for each day are the readings you should finish before class on that day, not after. So for next class on January 25th, you should read Bell's Chapter 2 and Haraway's Cyborg Manifesto. If we flip this page over, we'll see that all the major deadlines are in bold, as are the exams and other important dates. On February 17th, we will have one last odd day where I will unfortunately be out. I will be visiting my alma mater to speak to the graduate students there. On this day, then, on February 17th, we will have another online class. And that's just about the whole of it. Remember that we will be meeting in our class as usual on Monday, January 25th. To recap your homework, then, you should be reading Bell and Haraway, as well as getting started on your I Am a Cyborg page biographies and thinking about what you'd like to do for your research and presentation project. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me at any time, as many times as you need. I welcome the questions, and I look forward to seeing you all Monday.